What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Today, we are at the theater for our spoiler-free review of Blue Beetle. Now, as the silver lining guy, I'm not overly hyped for this movie.
No.
The trailers haven't done it much good. I mean, this really isn't connected to the DCEU coming forward.
I mean, what is?
True, we don't really know. Now, James Gunn has said that we will see the Blue Beetle in the DCEU, but he wouldn't say this movie is a part of it.
Right. It's like it doesn't... What does it mean, you know?
Yeah.
It's like maybe the character in some iteration will appear in the DCU, but we're not sure.
It's
and
like, I can't wait for Aquaman.
No, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? No.
Where's that one gonna go?
I have zero interest in that, but...
I didn't know we were all trying to work something in that has never been said before.
Right.
Your turn. Go ahead.
As far as this goes, yeah, Keith is absolutely right. The previews have not been anything that has sounded remotely interesting to me. If you follow us on Instagram, which if you don't, you should, you know that I've already thoroughly made fun of this movie just because it looks bad. Everything about it looks very corny and just...
But you love the font.
I love the font.
The font
Well,
is so cool.
The font is pretty cool. And I gotta say, I like the color scheme, and that's about it. So I guess kudos to the marketing team. But
good job.
I gotta say that the Blue Beetle that was on Smallville was probably better than what we're gonna see tonight.
Was it the Ted Cord Blue Beetle?
Yes.
Figures, okay. I'll have to look up that episode.
But yeah, as far as my hype level, it's not there.
Yeah,
We're just gonna see
about. I guess my hype level is kind of like fluttering at about like a 1 or a 2. I'm just like, we'll see. It's a movie. Maybe it'll be fun. Who knows?
This felt more like work. Like I have to go see that.
It does feel like work. Like I was looking at the clock today. I'm like, well, time to go to the theater.
Well, at
Gotta
least
go
I'm gonna
punch
hang out with the guys. It's like I'm gonna hang out with the guys tonight. That's cool.
That is
movie.
cool.
I don't know about that.
No joke. Literally, when I walked in, my first thought was, you know, I don't normally do this, but should I go to the bar?
Just get off. That was a great movie.
We're at Imagine, and I'm figuring, you know, maybe I need a beer for this movie, not a soda.
Well, let's see if you're right.
Should we get a beer before we head in?
Let's get a beer before we head in.
Go ahead.
Oh, hey!
You all right?
Okay.
Look,
That was a better action scene than we just saw.
at Imagine,
I'll tell you that.
At Imagine, we're making memories, Dave.
Yeah, and that would have been a great one if I like face planted in your popcorn. Well, guys, I'll let Keith start.
All right.
Because he's a silver lining, we got to start off with something
Yes.
good.
Now, I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to.
Okay.
It has issues. Now, this is going to be spoiler free, but it was pretty predictable. It took from a lot of other movies.
It did.
It's an
Want to
understatement.
name him? Want to name him in a row? It even took
Not-
my
not
favorite
yet.
show.
Yes. But overall, I still, while I was watching it, you know, there was times I was like, but I still enjoyed it. I mean, I thought the kid from Cobra Kai did a good job as Jaime.
It seemed like he played the same character. He was the same kid as he was on Cobra Kai.
Yeah, pretty much. And even George Lopez as his uncle, who I thought was going to be annoying, was actually pretty good at this. That was much better written than I think they portrayed it in the trailers. Same with the grandma. I mean, this movie is not great, but it surprised me. And I would see this movie again, even in theaters. And I did not think that was going to happen.
What about you, Doug?
You know, I almost completely agree with Keith.
Except for the part where he said almost. So
Yeah.
what do you disagree with?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to rush you along.
Anyway,
I gotta
so
get back in the frame here.
so yeah, I mostly agree with everything Keith said. It was a fun movie. I would definitely see it again. I don't know if I would rush to the theater to see it again, but I would definitely watch it again. It was really good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially based on the previews. And yes, I did completely recognize the font in the beginning. the beginning credits of the movie. It's called Road Rage, by the way. I'm not joking. I'll show it to you later. But
You're talking about the font.
The font,
Yeah, the font. Okay,
it's
that's
literally
fine.
called Road Rage. But no, it was a fun movie. I was really worried that a lot of the scenes that we saw in the preview were going to be either annoying or corny, and I was pleasantly surprised, in my opinion, that they were not. I actually enjoyed most of it. The only thing that took me out, and it kept making me fluctuate with my rating on this, was the CG. Now, in its defense, I'm going to borrow your silver lining for just a moment. Just pluck that silver lining. Okay. In its defense, if somebody told me that some of the really bad CG in this movie was a stylistic choice, I would be more willing to believe it than I ever did for The Flash. Because when they tried using that excuse for The Flash, no, absolutely not. That, especially with the microwave babies,
Oh my god.
so bad. It was so terrible through that whole movie. This, it was very cartoony. It was very bright. It was very light. But you know what it mostly reminded me of? And I was thinking about this as we were sitting in the theater. It reminded me a lot of Speed Racer. It was very bright and loud and cartoony. And one of the things that actually kept me, and I know that you probably hate this, that kept me kind of into it. No, not the multiverse. It was the synthy techno music that they kept playing. You know,
Did
like
it sound like
over-
Stranger Things at times?
It
to you?
did. It did.
There was a
So,
lot that
there was
tumbled
so
from.
much of that, and I really liked it though because I like that kind of music. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed this movie, and I would totally see it again. There's very little that I was disappointed with. I'd say the only things that really bothered me was, again, the really bad CG. There was a lot of really bad CG. And then the only other thing was there was like some stupid, unexplained, we don't understand how technology works in the movie, but I guess they do that so often in so many of these movies. It's one of those, it was like, if I type faster, I can hack better moments.
Yeah, they were really good at picking up technology. They were. Technology they've never seen before.
Right.
They just picked it up like it was nothing.
We're gonna download
They
the
studied it in the lab for like
for a whole
10
day.
minutes.
Yeah,
But David, clearly you are not on the same page as
No,
me
I'm
and
not.
Keith.
To me-
so what did you think?
Yeah, to me, if you saw the preview, you saw the movie.
Okay.
It wasn't. There were still moments. Let me start over.
Do it.
Because, like any origin movie, I can see why people get origin movie fatigue. Because there's always the same crap in those movies, and they had to go over it here too. And I thought it was, I thought there were a lot of over-the-top corny moments.
There were a lot.
Clearly, the focus was on family, though. I like that message.
family.
Because, it was family. Yeah, that part was good. There was a lot I didn't like. You saw in the preview the grandma taking the gun out.
Yeah.
I didn't like the whole thing they did with that. I thought you'll see. There's a spot where she does something with her hair, and that just changes her entirely. I mean, I don't know. Overall, they stole from my favorite show. There's a scene where they stole directly from my favorite show, and you'll know if you're a Smallville fan.
The one thing that I was happy they did too, and I thought they were going to gloss it over, was delve into the lore of the Blue Beetle.
Yes.
They didn't just say, okay, this is the Scarab, Jaime is the Blue Beetle. They went into Ted Kord, and even the first Blue Beetle, I can't remember his name now, it slips my mind. But I liked that they delved into that, and it had a lot to do with the story. I didn't think they were going to do it that way, and they did. So that was also a bonus for me while watching.
Oh yeah. I really didn't expect them to go into that much detail about it. Like what Keith said. So if you ever read any of the New 52 comics, one of the things that they did was they really brushed over the entire origin story of the Blue Beetle, brushed over Ted Kord. It was almost like okay, that was old. Here's the new Power Ranger Blue Beetle. This is going to be our focus. Ted Kord, screw that guy, forget him. But here, they treated it like it was a part of the universe. He existed. Everybody knew who he was, and I thought that was nice. That was a nice touch.
And are we going to give a full review on this on Sunday?
Yeah,
I think we should.
Twitch stream on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll have a spoiler-filled review. But let's get into our ratings. If you can't hear it, our fan club is here. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, move on
But
to that.
Dave, you want to start with the ratings?
Yeah, personally, I'm going to rate this a 5 on the Doug scale.
All right.
It's
So is
and
average.
that's reaching to get it to a 5.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Me, I kept fluctuating between a 7 and an 8. Like I said, every now and again, like I would see something like really stupid, and I'd be like, okay, that drops it back down. But then, like, techno music would pull me back in, and I was like, oh, there goes that synth. All right, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
See, I'm right with Doug. You know, there was times when I was like, I thought this movie was going to drop off the cliff, and I was going to rate it, you know, lower than 5 on the Doug scale. But stuff kept bringing me back, and they did things that were good and that entertained me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm definitely with Doug. I think this is a 7.5. I did not think that they were going to be able to attain that with what they put out. I don't think they did a service to this movie with the trailers they put out and the marketing they did, because this is a much better film than I thought.
James Gunn, I know that you watch this all the time. For you to say that The Flash is the greatest movie you've ever seen and then be radio silent on Blue Beetle, dude, come on. So Dave, was this at least better than The Flash?
This was better than The Flash, but that's not setting a bar very high.
Look, it's better than The Flash. So if you...
It's better than The Flash, so it's better than being curb stomped.
Right. So I recommend it. Go check it out. If the previews turned you off, maybe wait for it to come to streaming. But I still recommend it. I would say come to the theater, check it out.
Absolutely. And if you see it, there are 2 post-credit scenes. And don't forget, hit us up on Twitter, leave that comment down below, and we will see you next time on Not Your Status Quo.
I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.